we go again, learning a C++ from scratch in day 16. Today we are going to focusing on drawing a square in an OpenGL. If you forgot to follow me on Instagram, make sure to follow. If you didn't join my community in Discord, make sure to join in there. And if you want to donate me, you can donate me with whatever money you want, and link in the description for the donation. So it will help me to get a new monitor for my, and I'm using a laptop. I don't have a extra monitor, so it will be very helpful to get a new monitor. So here we go on focusing on the code. So guys, I now understand this line of code because the version 330 code is version 330 is a version of OpenGL. It's a 3.3, right? So it is denoting that code is modern, the modern OpenGL. Okay, it is what it means. Okay, so the layout location equal to 0 in a vec3 post. So the layout location 0 is a slot attribute slot equal to 0. Okay, so and in this means this data is coming into the vector headers, something like that. Okay, so then the vec3 means the vector with the 3 float. Okay, x y z. Okay, so the pros is at the time. So yeah, it is what it is. So now I have a confusion over here in this part, so I will explain this. So guys, I taken the notes for myself. I written in my notes, not in a digital. So okay, so I understand a little bit over here what's happening here. So I'm going to explain about this code to the ChatGPT. Then let's see what what exactly I understand and what I have to understand a little bit more. Okay, just stay up with me. So here I'm going to explain the code what you explained to me, and I'm going to explain what I understand a little bit, and I want you to give some feedback for my explanation and what have to change in that. Okay, so see, the 0 is some kind of slot in the position, something like that you said, and then a 3 is position for the XYZ axis, and then GL float is something like that. I don't remember that. GL float is we are declaring that OpenGL the points of the axis points of the values of float. We are designing that as a float. Now the GL false means we are giving a false for the well, I don't remember exactly. Wait a minute. Yeah. So we are saying that to the OpenGL that it is not, we don't want to be, we don't want that value to normalize, that we don't want to normalize. So we are telling the OpenGL that it is not normalized, and it is false. Okay, so like that. Okay, so now the 3 into size of float, 3 into size of float, 3 into size of float, it says something, I don't remember. It's like measuring something like that. I don't remember exactly, but sorry, I just forgot. Then now the void into 0 they use for something like color variant, for the color or something like that. I don't remember exactly this attribute location. So I changed the word. Okay, I changed the word slot into attribute location for the technical verse. So it means the layout location equal to 0 in this. Okay, so it tells OpenGL which my box is. I don't know what's going on. I come here later. Okay, so I just understood it is a attribute location, and we are using it to determine the location for the shader. So here what you said, jail is a person for X. That's what I mean, but I think when I said that it might be wrong. Jail was the data type before the CL float is declaring that to open jail points values of your correct telling the OpenGL each values is a float. Yeah, this is must be your okay. Okay, so there's an organization. We are telling OpenGL that we don't want to normalize. Means can you remember this code? Okay, this code that we are there. Okay, so yeah, I don't remember exactly. Okay, so it is like measuring something. I don't remember exactly. That's okay. This one is a tricky here. So okay, the three into size of floor. How many bits to move forward to reach the next? So three floor. Okay, the one float equal to 4 bytes. Three floors equal to 12 bytes. Yeah, properly selected for John. Okay. So there is a three value x, y, z, and each float contains 4 bytes, and for the three that's a 12. Okay, so 12 bytes for the 1 point, for the one, oh yeah, for the 1 point. I mean one vertex. For the one vertex there is a, for the one vertex there is a 3 axis, and 3 axis contains 12 bytes. Yeah, it is what it is. First, what is a byte? The 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Okay, the memory bytes do I move to this the next one? We are telling that GPU to move your vectors data in memory. I understand from this point. Okay, wait a minute. So now I got confused again. Why they are using a vectors 0, vectors 1, and vectors 2? Is float equal to 4 pi 3 4 4 4. What the heck? Now they are confusing me. So they are confusing me. Like guys, there is a 3 float x y z, and there is a, so it is for the each vectors, right? Yeah, for the one vectors. Okay, now I understand. Okay, so I thought they are actually telling for the total matrix, but now I understand that 12 bytes for the one vector, for the one vectors. Okay, so for the one vectors it has 12 bytes of float. Okay, so memory is visual memory is the key. Okay, now I understand. Okay, so think of a memory like a long tape. It is a null pointer. Okay, so it is telling that to read the vertex at the point of 0, something like that. Okay, and now I got confused with the null pointer void into 0 with the with this 0. Now can you tell the what is the difference between this 0 and the last null pointer void into 0? So can be more clear. And the first 0 at the beginning, it is actually for in shader pack, something like that. So can you tell that clearly more? This first 0 is about which attribute shader input. Okay, the last void the memory stopped reading. Where I got stuck. What do you mean by which attributes add input? Okay, the first attribute, okay, 0. So what is mean? The 0 means sending the vertex data to attribute location 0, and that is it. This connect directly to your text header. So he mean that the above program we saw before. Exercises, sorry. C++ says, okay, I will send this date to location 0. This 0 has nothing to do with the memory, it's just ID or slot number. Think from the 0. So, but the first 0 actually for the shader to start from the 0, right? Something like that. According to the ChatGPT, it's like that. I think it is what it is. Thing I have to explain to be more clear. So let me explain. I understood what you said by that. So let me explain what I understand now. So the GL vertex attribute is actually has some parameters. Now the 0 we initialize the 0 for the shader pack. Sorry, I mean the shader to know that it has to start from that. So okay, so the 3 for the 3 axis we use vectors. We use some vectors, and each vectors has a 3 axis, and then GL float for the OpenGL to know that uh, we are using a float variables, sorry, the float types, data type. So then GL falls for that, for you are using that to know the OpenGL, know the OpenGL that 3 is for the 3 axis and size of a float is a 4, and then if we multiply we get the we get 12 bytes as a for the one vertex. Okay, so now the void int 0, we are using a null pointer to 0 to um, determine the location of the data to start from. So we are using that to start from the 0 to it. Okay, so yeah, I think it is all the explanation I got, as I understand from your explanation. I hope it is right. So now guys, we actually explained what it actually means. So we have to understand, right? So if we did any mistake over here, we can study again, then understand more. In correct expression, you can access the component XY, that is the status user. Yeah, so that is the status user. Sorry, Vertex float is a data type. So you can to know we are using a float data type. So yeah, so this is a float. Then false is it normalization. We don't want the normalization, so the version would not be auto scale. Use exactly as then 3 into is 3 axis into 4 bytes equal to 12 bytes. So 1 axis equal to 12 bytes. So the OpenGL bytes go to the next frame is called to solid, and then you said determine the location of a data to start from. The correct idea, it means start at 0 of VVO. VVO means is Vertex test. This is something like that. Vertex buffer, right? Yeah, Vertex buffer. Vertex buffer. Okay, so what you need a Vertex in this board is important. Now let's fix current idea. Okay, so the setup pack start from the location 0 from the setup pack to know that it has to start from. This is okay. I said it is hard to start from. Okay, so the correct meaning of that is the attribute location. So they are the layout location equal to 0 in numbers. Instead of beyond to the data input location. Oh, okay. Now the first 0 is only about connecting to the data input. Okay, so the mistake 2 is a null pointer, means we are using the correct understanding is here is like a null pointer, but the OpenGL treat as by outside. So it is not exactly, we can say like that. I thought it is look like so yeah, I said okay, using null pointers. Okay, this okay, I mean that wrong. Okay, so it is looks like a null pointer, but it is not a null pointer, it is a bit offside, right? This is the adequate location which contains this vector. So like guys, as far as I understand, the first one has a 0 because we are using that to determine the location of a data pack, and we have to stop for something like that, right? So let me explain to the judge. So I think it is what I understand by what you explained. So let me say that. So we are using the 0 for that to determine the vertex shader. To know we are using a 0, and we have to start from the 0 because it is what it is. And we have to start from the 0. We have to start from the beginning. So we are using 0 for the shaders to perform, right? So we actually understand most of that. This one is actually, I still don't understand what they mean by the attribute location 0 and vectors. Exactly where it broke. Let me say this. This vectors data is sent to the attribute location. Okay. So let me explain what. Okay. So forget OpenGL for the again, you have a data number, you have a missing GPU, then missing has an input slot 0, 1, 2, slot 1, slot 2, slot 0. The attribute location equal to 0, the box number equal to 0. That is it, nothing more. Okay, start, non-start, not beginning memory, not magic. Okay, so just a box body collision. Now connect it to the shader. This is a key. So in your Vertex shader you have written. Okay, yeah, we have, yeah, I have written that. Okay, so hey GPU, I have an input called. So I want it to get data from a box zero. It is what I mean. Now look at this. Okay, so put this Vertex data into. What do you mean? You mean the entire thing or mean zero? I think only zero. Zero says I read from box zero. So you mean that? So I got what you mean by the box zero, and so now my question is, so the box zero has the entire code itself. I mean the three vectors and float, and then fold float, and then GL falls, and the size of a float, and then void int zero. So all these parameters are belongs in the box zero or something like that. What do you mean? So or the box zero only contain the value of zero. What do you mean? Can you explain? Let me. Yes, it is the correct question. You are finally touched the core idea. It's the instruction really. The box zero does not contain the whole code or parameters. The box zero contains only the Vertex data numbers. Let me, okay, so it is only contain the box zero only contains the zero, not the entire parameters values anything. So what is the box zero? The box zero is not contained for code. It is not contained for the container for the box zero is just the input slot that hold the Vertex data values. That is it. What actually does goes into the box zero. What? So that's what I mean. That's why I asked that ChatGPT that box zero has these values or something like that. I asked, but no, it is saying that it has something like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I mean this, so but I didn't include these values. Okay, I didn't mention these values when I talk about. So it is my fault. Defaultly, yeah, it is my fault. Now thinking of is like the simple analog box equal to it is confusing. So it actually has a value of each vertex, right? One vertex at the time. Yeah. So the box zero has this. Okay, so what about zero? Oh my goodness, why this thing is actually going in a loop? Why these guys are actually confusing me? The chat GPT is the poorest, the poorest, 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 poorest AI I ever seen in my life. It can't even tell exactly, and can't even explain everything at the beginning. If it is explain everything at the beginning, I don't even stuck up over here and asking multiple times at this time. So now GPT, I got you what you mean, and the box zero actually contains the data of the each vectors at the time or the one time. So now here is the new confusion that why we use zero instead of a box zero, and it make no sense that why we are using a zero, and now we have a we and like I mean in the actual code we use a zero, but you are talking about the box zero over here, and now I have no connection between zero and box zero. And now I actually understand about the box 0. It has each vector's values at the time, but I have no idea why we use 0 in our code. Like, golly, man, do I have to ask you every time? Can't you explain at the beginning, man? Lord have mercy, man. Come on, man, you have to explain everything at the beginning, man. Like, GVD have to be more advanced than this, for especially for the understanding, and they have to explain, right? Oh my god. So the first skill, the confusion, so the border is not a real thing in the course. It is the one teaching the use. So, Brian for the, yeah. Now I understand that, but the actual there is a no variable called box zero and no object called box. Oh, what the heck? Why? Okay, so this is only 0. So what is the 0 is really? So this 0 is just an index number. That's what. Okay, I know it is an index number on location side, whatever. So the open GL instantly has this like this concept. So this is called, oh, it is not even a, okay, it is just a index. Okay, so index value. Okay, so there are called Vertex attribute location. Attribute location, what do you mean? You mean 0? Only to make it easier to imagine why the OpenGL use a number, why the OpenGL use a number 0 to not naming, because the GPU hardware works with okay, so the numbers are fast, numbers are simpler, and the numbers, okay, guys, I have never seen a number to store up the some data. So I never seen in my life. I used to know some basic foundation in C, and now I'm studying a C++, and I used to have, so I used to code some Python, not professionally. I'm good at Python, but I know some of the programs basically. So but I never seen use the index value 0 to store some values, and what the heck is going on, man? I never seen anything such thing like that. That's why I said they use for some comparison, or maybe some starting point, something like that. I say something like, but now it is repeating the same thing. Now I actually understand what it means. But I already told you that to initialize the value, you have to start from the 0, so something like that, and you both have to be 0. So I didn't explain that, but I understand by myself, but I didn't explain. So now it is repeating the same thing I said. Just wasted my time, to be honest. It didn't say that before. Now it is saying that, but I already knew, man. Lord, that is what it is. Oh my goodness. So later discuss about the chat GPT. Okay. So GPT. I already explained this to you before, and I didn't mention that properly. And we are using a location 0 in a vector shader. I mean in a vector shader location equal to 0, and we are using in a C++ that 0 to be stored at 0 at the initializing point, and we are using a 0 in a shader point as an initialization point to start with, and we have to compare each one to verify the both are same, and both are the same, and to start the process at the same level of a 0, right? So it is what it is, and now I understand perfectly. So don't ever just say it is you have some more clear clarification, something like that, and don't confuse me more that. Okay, so just say yes or no what I said to you, like it is right or wrong. That is it. So don't confuse me with you have some more correction, something like that. I will piss off, man. It is 1 hour, so I have to go for the lunch, and it is a perfect time. And okay, Lance answer is no. What you said is not correct. What? Use zero and zero with guys, it is repeating the same thing again and again. Guys, I literally pissed off. So let's continue this afterwards. This is only set up. So the GL, what it does start GLFW library. It was GLFW to create a window, handle OpenGL contacts, handle a keyboard. Important, you must call it. Create a window, handle OpenGL contacts, handle keyboard, mouse, set. Okay, this is important. I think for you, every program might be important. Okay, so note that. That's done. Yeah, you must all those. Okay, so GLFW window hint. OpenGL version select. So the GLFW Windows hint. The GLFW content version major 3. Again, the GLFW Windows contact version major and minor. Okay, so what does it mean? You are telling GLFW, I want OpenGL version 3.8 major and they're together. Okay. So we have to mention that every time. I think functions. Okay, no fruits pipeline. No, okay. Say that requires modern GPU pipeline. Okay, let me think. So this one is telling that we are using a modern. So the creating the window. Okay, this is where the important thing is. Okay, so the GL window is the window equal to GLFW. So equal to GLFW create window 800 is a width and 600 is a height and square. We are giving the name title and none is a monitor. Null equal to window. No, okay, null. The contacts not using, so I don't have idea why they have given null over here. So we have to memorize those syntax over here, those syntax and those syntax. I mean these syntax and these parameters names and parameter names. So what this does, look, loads the actual OpenGL function address functions like so these are some functions that this function actually call these functions instead of it, and we can use the GL Vertex attribute pointer for the OpenGL to get the value for the drawing the square, right? So we use that as it is, and we don't. So now, okay, this is what it is. So I have to note down all this in my. Wait a minute, we will discuss. So how much I covered up over here in the main function. So guys, now I skip this part because for now I skip this part because we have to understand what's going on in the main function. So the main function is the main code. So once we understand this, and these only to the one for the fragment shader source and then one for the vector shader source. So if we understand the main is the only core function over here. So and here it has a big program. So once we understand this, and I think it will easily understand. So we actually understand this, and we actually know what's going on over here. So there is no confusion over here, and then we have to focus on this and then this. Then we have to focus on this. Okay, so wait a minute. So that is that. GL buffer data. Okay, there is a two like this. Two of them a little bit similar. Okay, now parameters are actually changed. I don't know. This code tells OpenGL how to reuse a vectors to draw a square using a. We are using rectangles over here for the square, man. Lord. So okay, so the OpenGL draws at triangles. Guys, I didn't even say why the hell do we need triangles to draw a square or something. Guys, I didn't even say that. It's creating by itself, man. The ChatGPT is framing me as a bad guy. So the OpenGL does not know what square is. GPU only understands triangles. What? Hey guys, really? So why the GPU only understand the triangle? Oh my god. Okay, why the GPU only use a triangle? The real reason. The triangles are always. What do you mean? Okay, so any 3 point always form of blend. No blending. The GP would have to guess. They're telling that GP hate guessing and it hate guessing. You only understand the program though because I think it is to like, so you already know the video is already like you might not know, sorry, it like a 4.5 hours. So I have to edit everything and every space and every breaks all that, and yeah, it will take like 2 hours from now. It is already like maybe 10, 10:20 something like that. I'm not sure what time it is. So I have to edit. See you on tomorrow. And if anyone is watching right now, make sure to subscribe our channel and make sure to follow my Instagram and join in my community. And if you're really willing to help me, you can help me with a donation, whatever money you want. So okay, that is all what I got today. So let's meet you on day 17.